Hello, welcome to How to Play Extra, a game for 1 to 8 players. This game comes from a gamut of games by Sid Saxon. There's the man himself. He has designed a lot of games, including some ones that don't come in a box like this one. This, of course, is based on Can't Stop. He had a real fascination with this game, and that game is similar to the game I showed you earlier, Press Your Luck, which is shown here, and you'll see that video in the description. So please do try this at home. So for this game, you're going to need 5 dice, a pen, and a score sheet, which you can print up from BoardGameGeek.com under the game Extra. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to roll all 5 dice, and then we're going to pair them up, and the 5th dice is going to be used in a separate category. Now we're going to take the sum total of the 2 pairs. We got, in this case, we have a 9 and a 6, or we can just do 2 6s. So we're going to do the 6 as the 5th die, and we're going to do 2 6s. And then basically with this game, once you fill up all the X's in your 5th die range, you're allowed to have 3 numbers, the game ends. So with this case, we're just pairing up sums. And so now we have a 5 and a 6 as the 5th die. And we're just recording the sums of the pairs, and we have another 6 come up, so we're going to use that automatically as our 5th. We could, at any point in time, choose to use another number, but I'm strategizing this time that if I go ahead and take more of the 5th die early for my first symbol and don't pick another one until later, that'll have better odds. And so this time I've chosen to have 4 as my other 5th die, or I'm contemplating it. Really considering, do I really want to do that, or do I want to do something else? Now, there are other games similar to this one. Choice was similar. Can't Stop Express was another similar game. He had a fascination with this design and this mechanic, and so that's what I ended up doing. Ended up putting the 4 as the other 5th die. So 6 and 4 are numbers that if a 6 or a 4 comes up, we have to use it. Or we have to come up with a third one. Oh, now we came up with a third one. It'll be 2. So these 6 4s or 2s. If we don't have a second 6 4 or 2, one of those has to be chosen as the 5th die from now on. So now we have a 9. We're going to use, contemplating whether using the 9 or we want to use the 6 4 2. So looks like we'll be using the 2. So now we're going to have a 9 and a 4, and then we mark off the 2. And the third 5th die, if you notice on that sheet, has less X's before the game ends. So that triggers the game ending. And so basically this game has been implemented as Can't Stop Express, as Choice. They're all slightly different score sheets. You could tell he's considered more probabilities in this later game than he did the earlier ones, similar to his Can't Stop. This one has a negative score. You can score negative points. And he did have like a guide as far as how many points you need to score on a solo mode, because this is a group solitaire. Difference playing this with other players, everybody's grouping the dice in their mind and not necessarily right in front of them like we're doing now. And the game's going to end at different points for everybody. So it is, for all better purposes, it is a group solitaire game. So there we're using the 2 as the 5th die and then marking off the other pairs. So there's a threshold on there on the scorecard that you're no longer in the negative territory if you cross that line. Then it doesn't count at all. And then if you get another one of those numbers, it then gives you some points. And they're more valuable depending on the harder the difficulty it is to achieve that score on a pair of dice, even though you are rolling 5 of them. So 12s and 2s are worth most. 11s and 3s are worth a lot. Now, if you don't mark a single X in that category at all, it doesn't count against you. Only the minute you put an X in there is it worth negative 200 points. And it's not worth any other points until you get past that 0 threshold. So, in some of these cases, like the 7, you need about, looks like 5 X's before you're even at the threshold. So 6 will get you 0. 5 will get you negative 200. With the 2s, you need 3 of them. The 2s and 12s, you need 3. With and that's the same with the 11 and the 3s. And then as far as point totals, the 2s and 12s are worth more. The 11 and 3s are worth less than the 2s and 12s, but more than any other combos. And the 7s are worth the least because they're the most common roll that you're going to get. So we're just going to keep going along, deciding which one of the 6, 4, or 2 that we're going to use as our 5th die. Obviously, the 2 has less spaces than the 6 does. I don't know if that was the wisest decision to do on the first roll, but we'll find out. And if you look at some of the reviews on this game on Board Game Geek, it does say that people like this game, but they oftentimes aren't good at it. They oftentimes will say, I score negative points. So if you're put off by negative point scoring, you might not like this as much. But I say it's overall, it's a fun game. And we're getting awful close, so I have one more 2. The minute I make another 2 as a 5th die, the game will be over. So now I'm avoiding 2s like the plague. And now, if I make another 4, the game's over. 4 or 2, the game's over. So now we're pairing our die up, and I have a 2. And there's nothing else I could do. So I got to take the 2 and the 6. And that ends the game. Now I'm going to total up my scores. So like I said, if you don't have any marks at all, that's 0. If you do have a mark, but not enough to cross the 0 threshold, that's 200. If it gets just to the 0, you only score 0. You don't score positives. And then you're scoring X number of points per X. So past the 0 threshold, you might score 1 of those points. And then 2 of them, you'll multiply by 2. And then 3, you'll multiply by 3. Then you sum total that up. And this game is, what do you know, it's hard. It's a very, very difficult game. To score positive points, and this is probably my 3rd time attempting it. I actually attempted choice earlier, and choice is a different score sheet, same game for the most part, but this one was a little bit more refined. So yeah, if you don't like negative points, you might not like this. So if you actually want to try this game in public, come to our subreddit, Card Game Meetups. If you click on the description, this will show you all the card game channels I enjoy and any other credits. That's what our Reddit subgroup looks like. We also have a Discord link on there that doesn't expire. It's a group of guys that love to talk about cards, playing cards, collecting them, playing card games, playing dice games, playing board games, all sorts of fun. So do join that. You'll have a good time. Also, check out these other channels. They present a lot of different games. I love Riffle, Shuffle, and Roll, commercial and free. Taylor's Trick-Taking Table, very interesting man. Does some great games, Triple S games. They're on a kick. And if above all else, do check out our musician today. Adam has done a fantastic job. In fact, he has a hit, which I'm going to let you hear some of right now. Do visit his page and do give him some views. And I'll see you next video.
How many years will force your back against the wall, with your head in cradled hands, pounding temples, swollen glands? How many tears escape that prison in your eyes, just to glimpse the open